Hi everyone out there in YouTube world. My name is Chocolate Rose, aka Miss Rose. I wanted to do a video from a woman's perspective with CDL training. I did go through Swift Transportation with one of their driving schools here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I wanted to give some information on that training to know what you should expect or possibly what you should do prior to going to training. Um, for me, the training, the school was awesome. I loved it. Prior to going, I did have my CDL permit, my medical DOT card, and everything like that. I would advise to have that prior to going, just because when you get there, it is a lot of information that you're given, and it goes by quickly, especially with the classroom time. Uh, so when you get there, what you can expect, the first week is classroom, going over safety, testing information for you can take your general, air brakes, and combinations test for your permit. For those who already have it, you still have to go through it. But of course, you don't have to go to DMV and do all the things that the people who don't have it would. The next week, which is your second week there, you do your backing. Straight back, offset, and 90-degree backing. And I don't know, the school I went to, that's what we did, but it may be different in other schools. Third week is driving. Learning how to use a manual, driving a manual truck. We did 10 speed. Some people, well, let me go back to the second week with backing. Some people learned on a 10 speed, some people learned on an automatic. So for those, usually with Swift, you will learn on an automatic for backing. And once you start driving, they will teach you how to do, how to drive a 10 speed manual truck. I was fortunate enough to train with backing with the 10 speed, so it was good for when it was time for me to start driving and learning how to clutch and double clutch and things in that nature. So that's what we did the third week, was driving, getting our experience out there, and turns and mistakes, and how you can stall out, all those different things, just what to do in those situations. Very, very, very good training. Fourth week was night driving. What that is basically, instead of coming in the morning and training, you would come in 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon and drive for whoever's in the truck till 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, because you all have to do 4-hour spans at night. And there is a difference in driving in the day and driving in the night for those new drivers out there. And that week after the night driving, you will go and you will test for your CDL, which is your pre-trip, in-cab or lab, driving test, and your post-trip and things like that. But what advice I can offer to you all, let you know I did pass. I do have my CDL Class A's, and I have all of my endorsements. And for those who go get their permit, if you study, don't listen to people. It's a lot of tests out here. And I'll include a link to a couple of them that I felt to me was helpful here anyway for North Carolina. That was closer to the DMV testing. It helped a lot. The questions will be different at the DMV. They make you think. The questions are switched up at the DMV, so beware of that. Think before you answer, because it will mess you up. If you study for your endorsements when you're going to get your permit, go ahead and get them. It's nothing to take the test. Hazmat, everything is not as bad as some people say it is. It's really not. You just have to go and get, of course, your fingerprints, and that takes a while to come back. So I would advise to go ahead and get those things if that's what you want to do. Okay, sorry everyone, I'm back. Had to pause there for a moment, but yeah, I'll provide those links to you. Again, if you want to get your endorsements, go ahead and do that while you have the chance to study. Just study, but don't worry yourself too much. You overthink things. You tend to just do more than what you really need to do. Okay. Some advice that I can give to people, if you don't already know, if you don't know how to drive a 10 speed or any kind of manual shift. One thing I did to practice was to use a plunger. What you would do is you could put a plunger in a bucket or just stick it down and, learn how to move your feet with clutching with the plunger and learning how to shift, change your gears. Some people I did offer that advice to, they might have thought that it was silly, but to me it helped, and also the trainers there thought that was good advice as well. For testing, there are some self-tests out there. It's one in particular I think is awesome, especially for the pre-trip. It's silent, but it shows you the item that you need to know for the pre-trip, and you say it, what you need to do, and then you can pause the video and then it'll go and tell you the rest of it. I think it's called pre-trip self-test on YouTube. Very good. I use that and practice with that often. But they give you time to get out there with the truck too. The classes, they have people coming in every week for training. So like I said, pay attention, because you really don't have room for error. And if you need the additional time, they won't do it unless they know that you're really, really trying. Okay, so to move forward, pass training. So if you do pass, congratulations. If not, don't give up. Keep heading for that dream. But once you get to Swift, it is different. I didn't go right away. I had some things that I had to take care of. But when I did finally go to orientation, the best advice I can tell people with this is, do not always believe your recruiters. That's a big thing to learn, especially for a new truck driver out here. You're going through a company. Ask questions. Plenty of questions, especially about your pay. Don't just let them tell you what you'll make weekly. Ask them what you'll be getting while you're in the seat. When you're out the seat, for you'll have a better idea of what you're getting yourself into. So the week of orientation was Swift. So let's go through that. Well, my experience. I'm not sure if anybody else's is like this, but it wasn't anything that I would do. The first day, there was a terminal in Greer, South Carolina. We went, they did drug testing, and for those who didn't have their medical DOT card, they could do a physical that day, or if you didn't have your long form, you can do a physical that day as well. And that pretty much was the first day of orientation. Just sitting there and sitting there and sitting there for that. Second day of orientation, we did some work in the book, went over a lot of information, safety, hazmat, things in that nature. And they advised us the second day that the first day was unpaid, but you would get paid for the second and the third day that you were there in orientation. And the reason behind that is because a lot of people decide to leave after the first day. To me, that would have been valuable information for someone on the first day to know that. But they decided to tell that on the second day. Second day, they also tell you that your pay while you're on the truck, that you can make up to $550 per week. Well, that's not bad, especially with you're starting out. So you're with a trainer 6 to 8 weeks or 4 to 6 weeks, excuse me. There's some income coming in your pocket. But to me, this is for those who, have a home or might have a home that they have and they have to pay those bills. Just know that it's up to $550. And when I say that, meaning that I'm not going to give the figures they gave me, but just to let you know, it's they pay you while you're out of the seat, not while you're driving, but out of the seat and driving, excuse me, you are paid hourly. Not by the mile, but hourly. So while you're out of the seat, you are paid at the minimum wage of the state that your terminal is in. Okay? So to help you calculate that, and you find this out at the end of the day on the second day, it is the minimum wage of the state that you're in, that your terminal that you're assigned to is in. Some people might be lucky enough to have another terminal that they might be assigned to, whatever, but normally it'll be the terminal that you're sitting in for your orientation. Now, when you're driver's seat, the pay rate changes, but trust me, might be $1 or $2 more. It's not really that much. So if you can average that to see if you would actually get that up to $550, you might not even get that, because what if you're not even driving that much with your trainer that week? You might hit you might hit $300 for the week. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're figuring out as far as what bills you have to pay and things like that. And the third day is pretty much getting your driver number, setting up your information in their systems and things like that. And assigning you to someone, a mentor, for them to train you. I didn't make it that far. I decided that's not the route that I wanted to go, because it just wouldn't work for me. I'll say it like that. So I did decide, it's other avenues and other companies out here. For me starting, I'm a little nervous because I haven't drove in like the last month, month and a week, I think. And it gets a little nerve-wracking, but I pray that the offer that I have received recently, that this will be a very, 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 very good opportunity for me. And this is my first video, of course, as a trucker, a new driver. I will make videos going forward as a woman to let you know how it is on the road. I won't be gone the 2 weeks. Like what they say, you'll be gone 2 weeks, come home for the 34-hour reset, be back out again. If you even come home for those 2 weeks, you might be gone 3 or 4 weeks. That was not the best thing for my lifestyle. But if that's for you, go for it. Not saying that they're bad or anything like that. It would not have worked for me. And some things that I saw even in orientation, it didn't seem like long term it would work. You know how you get a feeling? There you go. So I will keep you all updated. If you have any questions or anything that you would like to ask me, feel free. I'm going to make this video kind of short because I'm tired. It's been a very, very long day. I did my drug testing, everything with one company. So I've had other offers, but I just, fingers crossed, everything goes good. And come Monday, I will have more to say with the new company that hopefully I'll be starting with. But till then, you all stay sweet and stay blessed.